you just said you made this conversion in what year?
I think it was 2018 I started investing, yeah.
Okay, well, I just for, as a point of fact, for what it's worth, May 14th, 2019, you came on television and called Bitcoin garbage. Mr. Wonderful thinks it's worthless.
Well, I
called it garbage this morning.
I want to explore the idea. Yeah, I did say that. I want to explore the idea that there's nothing here except raw speculation. No different than when I go to Las Vegas and put my money on black or red on a roulette wheel, because where is the intrinsic value inherent in deploying real capital? Let's talk real money here.
Canadian venture capitalist and former FTX spokesperson Kevin O'Leary has been caught in many lies and half-truths over the past few weeks. But things are about to get even more heated in the highly controversial FTX collapse, in which he is deeply involved. According to recent reports, Sam Bankman-Fried's seemingly charitable donations to U.S. politicians is about to come under heavy scrutiny. These big-time politicians will certainly not go down without a fight, and they have just the perfect scapegoat, Kevin O'Leary, who, since the FTX collapse, has appointed himself as a personal spokesperson of the now disgraced former crypto billionaire. Of course, we now know it is because of the $15 million he received from SBF last year when he became a spokesperson for the cryptocurrency exchange. Whether O'Leary realizes the precarious situation he has placed himself in remains to be seen. He has continued to defend SBF despite the clear reports and charges against him. He has also essentially made himself an intermediary between U.S. lawmakers, the listening public, and SBF. Over the past week, we've seen O'Leary vehemently try to pin the blame for the exchange's collapse on CZ, the chief executive officer of rival exchange, Binance. It seems O'Leary is trying to pin the blame on CZ to help SBF and other big shots that collected clients' funds from the former crypto billionaire. However, if anything, the Shark Tank celebrity has brought even more unwanted attention to the whole issue. At this point, there is no way O'Leary comes out of this with his reputation still intact. In fact, it is already torn to shreds. He is supposed to be a savvy investor with decades of experience. Yet, he has admitted that he put millions of dollars into FTX because SBF is an American and his parents are legal compliance professors. He didn't do any due diligence at all. We believe there may be two possible reasons for this. 1. O'Leary didn't need to do any due diligence past the $15 million paycheck he received. He knew exactly what he was getting into with FTX and SBF. 2. He has been selling a false image to the world all along. Frankly, it must be a combination of both points. In this video, we bring you O'Leary's recent interview with CNBC, which reveals more of his two-faced personality. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Last week, CZ responded to O'Leary's allegations that he orchestrated FTX's collapse to get a competitor out of the way. CZ called O'Leary the liar spewing nonsense, and here is O'Leary's reaction to that remark.
Now, let me address something before we go any further. Yesterday on the air, CZ called me a liar. That suggests that I perjured myself in front of the U.S. Senate for 2 hours this week. I can assure you that is not the case. At the end of the day, I have no ill will to this guy, but he's part of the story too. And you found out yesterday, you did a little work with Squawk Box. We talked about it either being $2 billion or $3 billion, that transaction. That's the largest transaction, I think, of anything in there regarding the balance sheet in recent 24-month period. And he confirmed it was $2.1 billion. And then he confirmed that he still had $550 million, $500 million of FTT tokens. Now, at some point, we're going to look at that week of November 6th, and you ask anybody, why was Sam Bankman-Fried or the whole company FTX forced into bankruptcy? It was jamming down that last $500 million that gave them no option. Now, is that the fatal stroke or blow to get rid of your global competitor? I say yes. And I'll tell you something else. Right after that interview, I got a phone call, or actually it was a text, from a lobbyist in Washington saying, don't go anywhere, you're coming back. So I bet CZ bought himself an invitation to Washington yesterday. Can't wait to meet him there. We can go sightseeing.
If he did do it, maybe it was a favor to everybody if it unveiled a Ponzi scheme that might have still been going on otherwise.
Well, remember, he was trying to buy the business at that time. On Wednesday, the idea was he was going to buy it.
Was he doing that just to throw more shade at him? I don't know.
Well, We don't know, but obviously if he thought there was fraud, he wouldn't have made an offer to buy it. So nobody knew, including, remember, this guy's a huge shareholder of FTX, or he was, and so he didn't see the fraud either. So at the end of the day, the question becomes clawback. You've been talking about it for the last 2 days. Is that 2.1 billion Madoff-style clawback? Who knows? But if I get on that credit committee, I'll be one of the guys doing the clawing. So I'm looking forward to that, because I think at the end of the day, every shareholder and account holder has to have an answer to what happened here. I normally would have written this off like the other 8 venture investments, but not this one. I'm staying on this one right to the end. I'm going to teach this course at Harvard one day in my guest lecturing. This is going to be a case. This will be a chestnut. This is an extraordinary situation right now.
We were talking about actually endorsements and endorsees. Obviously, Larry David was in the FTX Super Bowl commercial. Tom Brady took on his role as a spokesman of sorts for the company. You're a spokesman for the sorts of the company. Not of sorts, but were. It's funny. I don't know if it's funny. Some people wouldn't expect a Larry David or a Tom Brady, maybe fairly or unfairly, to either have known or understood or necessarily done all the diligence that they should have done.
Well, let me tell you why.
But they look at you and they think that you should have.
Well, that's interesting to differentiate me. I can tell you he's a better quarterback than I am. So there's things we do differently. But let me tell you what the theory was and why Sam Bankman-Fried was hiring all these people. He was very jealous of the accounts that Coinbase had, and he wanted to figure out how to build a retail base quickly. And so it's not crazy what he did. Putting his name on an arena makes sense if you can make a brand become ubiquitous in America so that you can try and get more consumers to build that base. Maybe jealous isn't the right word, but he said they started 3 years earlier and they were way ahead of him, and he wanted to catch up. And that was the way to do it. So it's not a crazy theory. Companies advertise and they do it this way. Now, obviously, none of us would have wanted to be in this mess if we could have avoided it, but we just didn't know. And frankly, venture investing is, you can do all the due diligence you want. You're still going to get 8 out of 10 go to zero. That's been the stats since 1954 when they first started covering it in Boston. Right. So at the end of the day, that's the nature of investing this way. It's risky.
Last week on the same platform, O'Leary admitted that he and other VC investors may have relied on each other's due diligence and SBF's nationality and his parents' professions. His allegations that CZ made the first tweet about FTX to bring down the exchange so he could buy it at a low price are also very questionable. In November, SBF revealed that he reached out to CZ and others to save the exchange when he realized it was going down. CZ signed a non-binding letter of intent and promised to do his due diligence before progressing with the deal. We all know how that went. The point is, CZ's tweet did not bring down FTX as O'Leary claims. It only showed the rot in the FTX system and allowed some investors to get out before it was too late. Let's get back to Kevin O'Leary's interview as the Shark Tank celebrity gets caught in another big lie.
You went from Charlie Munger's view on Bitcoin to Michael Saylor's view. Did that conversion coincide with the 15 million that you got from FTX?
No, I was investing 3.5 years earlier than that. I changed my mind back in early 2018 when I saw the regulators in jurisdictions like Canada, Switzerland, and Abu Dhabi start to change their minds. But I'll tell you what really got me investing, Joe. I mentioned these guest lecturing things I do. They're usually to graduating cohorts of engineers. And so these are classes that are 6 to 9 at night. And these are the best and brightest at MIT or in business school at Harvard. I started to notice back in 2018, I'd say, okay, wait, where are you guys going? Where are you going? Because about a third of the class will create entrepreneurial efforts and they'll start businesses. They're all going to the blockchain.
I got to stop you. You just said you made this conversion in what year?
I think it was 2018 I started investing, yeah.
Okay, well, I just for, as a point of fact, for what it's worth, May 14th, 2019, you came on television and called Bitcoin garbage. Mr. Wonderful thinks it's worthless.
Well, I
called it garbage this morning.
I want to explore the idea. I did say that. I want to explore the idea that there's nothing here except raw speculation. No different than when I go to Las Vegas and put my money on black or red on a roulette wheel. Because where is the intrinsic value inherent in deploying real capital? Let's talk real money here, and putting it into Bitcoin as a storage of value. I get gold. For 2,000 years, including the Romans, they saw value in owning that as an asset class. Tell me why this, which is basically a digital game, that's the way I look at it, has any intrinsic value. when people actually put real money into this, they make no interest, they can't pay their taxes with it, the regulators don't like it, which is always a problem for compliance. And where's the long-term value? Just this idea that they're going to cut the number of units in half, such a scam. Like, that's just totally BS. I taught a class at Harvard 18 months ago that young people in that class challenged me. I put $100 into something called Coinbase, which is a wallet thing. And
you buy Bitcoin?
I bought them all. I bought all the crypto crap. I put $100 in. It's now worth 30.
30.
That's a 70% loss on my crypto crap. Now, I bought them all. I think that really sucks. And I think people should understand today the hot digital is Bitcoin. Tomorrow it could be whatever, right?
Just
Then I'm wrong. It's the year later.
in keeps it in
I'm
terms
sorry,
of
guys.
Keeping the time, but also, Kevin. So prior to that, you hadn't looked at it at all. I wonder about Munger. I wonder about a lot of it. Most of the people that call them Beanie Babies have never looked into actually how it works. Had you not looked into it, and yet you had those very strong opinions about Bitcoin?
I remember. I think it was 2017, coming on Squawk Box talking about the tokenization of a hotel in New York. And the regulator let me know right after that they were not okay with that. And that was the beginning of realizing, wow, things are tough out here with this crypto stuff. Right. But maybe you're right, Andrew. Maybe I started 2019. But the point is, it was long before I became a paid spokesperson, years before. So it didn't change my mind to be paid or, go through that whole process. I'm an advocate of this because I think the productivity available in crypto and particularly payment systems looks extraordinary. And I understand the incumbents and the banking system is really trying to shut this down. But the fact is, it's a threatening technology, and disruption's always abhorred by the existing incumbents.
The problem here is not O'Leary being ousted as a former crypto critic. Some of the greatest Bitcoin and crypto advocates, including MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, are former critics. The problem here is O'Leary weaving in and out of supporting crypto, especially if the motivation for doing that is $15 million of dirty money. What are your thoughts on Kevin O'Leary's interview and his apparent desperation to appear as the hero and paint CZ in an extremely bad light? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other videos on the issue. Thanks for watching.